Hi, Sandra here from Creating Spain. This morning I'm going to show you how to do a simple card shape. It doesn't have to be simple, you can make it as complicated as you like, but a simple way of making a card shape that doesn't have a straightforward straight edge to it, the sort of thing I'm meaning. Take this shape here. If I was to put this on the edge of my card and I wanted it to cut out up to here and around here, follow the line, go down there, and so on. And there's a nice easy way of doing this, and I'm going to show you what that is. First of all, you need your shape, your clip art or whatever it is, and you need it to have the cut edge on it. This session doesn't deal with putting a cut edge on clip art, that will be dealt with elsewhere at another time. This assumes you have a shape and you have a cut edge for it. Now, a tip that I learned very early on from Doodling Debbie from the Silhouette Plus forum is when you're making cards and things, make duplicates of everything. Doesn't matter if you've got duplicates on your screen. They're not going to be cut unless you put them in a cut area, but they're very handy to have in a working environment. So I'm going to take this, right click and duplicate, and I'm going to use this one here. So this one is nice and safe and I can play with another one, it doesn't matter. Right, now I would position it wherever it is that I wanted it and then think, yeah, okay, that looks pretty neat. And then all I would have to do is to select the entire thing and go to the World tool down here, and lo and behold, the entire shape will be cut out, and I can just take that fill out by putting that back to transparent. There we go. So that would be a simple way of just having the shape. And if I bring this forward, bring it to the front, so it's lined up in front here. And as you can see, that would cut out precisely around there. Now sometimes you want to have a little border around here. And what you would do in that case is a slightly different version. And I'm going to just click my undo arrows until I get back to where I was in the first place. There we are. That's easy enough, isn't it? Okay, so on this one, I'm going to simply put a offset, and the button down here does a very simple offset. No alterations are needed. It will just put a very narrow offset around. There we go, there's the offset. And so I move this one up here, put it wherever I want to put it, and then I select all of that and I go down here to the world. And now when I put my funny shape up, the offset makes a little line around the outside edge and I can line that up to my heart's content. If you find it hard to do with the mouse, use the arrow keys on your keyboard, and the arrow keys will move things, if you've got them selected that is, they will move things left, right, up and down in the same way, but it makes it a little easier to control. And I'll go down one. Okay, so I would be happy with that. Now, if you're doing anything which has got a neat colour in it to be printed, then you would need to have had your registration marks put on the page. And here we have the choice of registration marks, and I have a cameo, so I would choose that one. As you can see, my design is well over the page. I'm going to move this one to one side. I am going to select all of my design, and I'm just going to move it into the design page properly. There we are, that's fine. So I would send that to the printer and it would come out looking like that. How would I cut it? Now, if I go to the cut settings and I have them on standard, you can see that I have a cut line around here and I have a cut line around here. Whoops. Unless that is my intention, and it wouldn't be to do this, I would end up cutting this out and just having this thin line around here with nothing in here at all. So that wouldn't be what I was after. So I would select this inner one and I would go and choose no cut. And so then you can see, it's going to cut around the outside edge. That's exactly what I want. Now, how do we do this in the standard version is one way. How we do it in the advanced version is slightly different. Now, again, I have this area which is going to be cut and I don't want it to be cut. Now I can cut by layer. Well, I didn't put layers in here, so it's all classed as one layer, so that won't be of any use to me. I could cut by line colour. Again, I didn't bother to change the line colour. I could change the line colour and I don't know, change it to blue. Go back to my cut settings. And then if I go to line colour, I can choose only to cut the red line out. That does solve my problem. But there is another way around it. What I can do is simply take that and cut. Because once I've printed it, I really don't need it there. So I could then just cut it in the same way. It's exactly what I need it to do. But it's just a different way of doing it. And if you're going to keep the file, then you'd want to make sure that you actually put it back again and didn't leave it out. But that is basically how you do it. And I've deliberately not given you a fancy graphic to practice this with. I've deliberately kept it simple because I don't want you distracted by a fancy graphic. Doesn't make any difference how fancy the graphic is, the method is the same. You can also do this if you have a scalloped edge that you want to apply to a card. You can do that. All sorts of things can be done, and it's a nice tool to play around with, and it does make your cards look very, very professional. If you want to have a score line down the centre of your card, if I just draw my score line here, it's certainly not in the centre of the card, I can tell you that now. Now look what happens. If I select that and I go to my align and I go to centre. Okay, that's in the centre. I don't want that there. I can take that out. But this certainly isn't in the centre. It will centre it to the centre of the complete card. So you have to be very careful when you're doing that. If I undo this, and what I can do is simply draw a line that is the same width, or a box that is the same width as this. I can select my line. I can select my box, the little narrow one that I've just done. Then I can go to the line and I can centre it. And it will centre it to that. And since that is the same width, all I have to do then is cut that away. This one, I would then go to my line settings, my line style, choose the line style that I wanted. And if I want to, I can just stretch it out so it goes all the way from one side of the card to the other. I don't always bother with that. Sometimes I just leave a line with a short gap either side. But that's how you do that. I hope you found this tutorial useful, and I will be back again soon. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.